Okay, so yesterday I went ahead and wrapped up and beat Astro Bot on the Sony PlayStation 5. And my goal with that playthrough was to go through and get all the puzzle pieces and all the bots. Wasn't concerned with getting the Platinum Trophy because it entails more than that. So with that being said, yesterday I went ahead and finished up the Great Master Challenge, which was the very last thing I had left to do on my playthrough. And after I got done with that, I closed the app, I went to the home screen, and it showed that currently my playtime is at 37 hours on this game. I would subtract maybe about 90 minutes of that for various moments of putting the controller down, going to the kitchen, or what have you. So there was a lot of discourse when Astro Bot first came out. And a lot of Xbox fanboys and whatnot were clowning on the game, saying it was a 5-hour game because they were pulling up these speedrunner platforming savants who were able to get through the game in like 5.5 hours. And it's good for them that they were able to get through the game in 5.5 hours, but that's nowhere close or indicative of a full playthrough experience. I would imagine that they probably just steamrolled through the levels as quickly as they could and rolled credits with the bare minimum of bots discovered or puzzle pieces uncovered. And yeah, sure, you can go ahead and roll the credits, you can finish the game, but have you actually played the game in that capacity? I would wager no. Now, the interesting thing about Astro Bot is throughout the game, there's 17 challenge run levels, and there's like 12 hidden mystery levels that you can completely miss if you're not looking for the right puzzle pieces. The 17 challenge run levels, each one of those contains just one bot to rescue. So theoretically, you could beat the game, roll the credits, and not even do a single one of those challenge runs. Some of the challenge runs I was able to complete in just one attempt. Majority of them took me about 20 minutes to master, and a couple of them took me well over 2 hours to master. Most notably, the one in this video, the Splashing Sprint, and the Great Master Challenge, which is the final challenge run level. Splashing Sprint took me exactly 2 hours to master. And then Great Master Challenge took me, I want to say probably closer to 3 hours to finally master. And then once I mastered it, I could probably do it now blindfolded at this point. I posted my winning attempt 2 days ago on YouTube. Those levels in and of themselves, I mean, all combined together, that was probably an easy 7 hours of my playtime just doing the challenge levels. Now, if you are a speedrunner or a platformer savant, I'm sure you could get through all of them relatively easy because that's just what you're into. But for the general public, somebody who's just gonna go to Best Buy or somebody who's gonna be browsing the PSN store and just be like, oh, this looks cool, I'm gonna pick it up. For those people, this isn't gonna be a 5-hour game. There's gonna be a lot of challenge. There's going to be a lot of failure. There's going to be a lot of replay. And a lot of the people, if you're not using walkthroughs or guides or the little bird hunter mechanic at the beginning of each level to find some of these bots and some of these puzzle pieces, to me, some of them were kind of a head scratcher to try to figure out where the heck is this stupid thing. So yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of depth to this game that's being completely overlooked because people want to just dunk on it to fit their narrative of, oh, it's, you know, not long enough, it's not worth the cost, it's a $70 game or whatever, and it's not worth the cost because it's a 5-hour game, when in reality it's not. And what was even more interesting is just earlier this year, we all played through Hellblade 2, which Hellblade 2, no matter how you play it, it's like a 6-hour game. So why is it that we're clowning on Astro Bot and calling it a lol, it's a 5-hour game, when, as I said, in reality, it's much longer than that. There's much more depth to it than that. But we're not gonna dare mention anything about Hellblade 2, which in reality is a 6-hour game. But all that being said, I thought that Astro Bot was a absolutely fantastic game. I'm not that into platformers, to be honest, because I'm pretty much trash at them. When I was a kid, the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo were the big things, and I was just absolute trash at Mario. I was absolute trash at Yoshi. I was just complete garbage at like Comic Zone. Comic Zone is just a horrible game from gameplay perspective. It's a fantastic game from an aesthetic perspective, but from actually playing it, it's like insanely difficult. Or games like Lion King, games like Aladdin. I mean, all these games are just insanely difficult. And so I think that that was basically the goalpost when it came to platformers is, well, we got to make this game that's nigh impossible to beat. So I don't spend that much time with platformers, to be honest. But over the past few years, I've been getting a little bit more into it. I played all the way through Super Mario Odyssey, and I thought that was a really cool game. And I played through Sonic Frontiers, and I thought that was a really fantastic game. And now I play through Astro Bot, and I'm currently making my way through Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. However, I'm kind of hesitant to call that a platformer because it plays more like your typical Sony third-person, over-the-shoulder, sad dad shooter than an actual platformer. And there's some platforming aspects in it, but when it comes to enemy encounters, you're just shooting them with a gun, so it's kind of weird. All that being said, though, Astro Bot was a highly fantastic game. I highly encourage everybody who has a PlayStation 5 to check it out, to play it. Even if you're not into platformers, like I'm not into platformers, still check it out and play it. And if you're at all hesitant about the supposed 5 to 6 hour playtime that's been going around on social media, again, just understand that that's if you're just gonna steamroll the game, roll the credits with the absolute minimum number of bots rescued that's possible. Because, I mean, as you're going through the levels and you're, getting bots, it's going to unlock more levels. But all you have to do is just beat the level and you just go on to the next one. And you're just accruing the minimum amount of robots needed to unlock further levels. But if that's just how you want to approach it, that's fine. But you're going to miss a lot of the charm, and you're going to miss a lot of the details that are placed here in this world for you to experience and check out. But I don't want to take up much of your time. I just wanted to make a quick video and talk about the fact that Astro Bot is definitely a game worth playing. It's definitely in my running for Game of the Year this year, along with Stellar Blade and Black Myth Wukong. So thanks for watching, and peace out.